Hi, I'm Angus Mackenzie, Editor-in-Chief of Motor Trend, and welcome to the judging for the 2011 Sport Utility of the Year. The Sport Utility of the Year judging process is not a comparison test. Each of the contenders is evaluated against 6 key criteria. They are advancement in design, engineering excellence, efficiency, safety, value, and performance of intended function. 15 new or significantly upgraded sport utilities and crossover vehicles are eligible for this year's award. They are Acura MDX, BMW X5, Ford Edge, Honda Accord Cross Tour, Hyundai Tucson, Hyundai Santa Fe, Infiniti QX56, Jeep Grand Cherokee, Kia Sorento, Kia Sportage, Lexus GX460, Lincoln MKX, Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, Nissan Juke, and Porsche Cayenne. It's a packed field this year because we've included engine and transmission variants on some models where appropriate, in order to get a better idea of the bandwidth of these contenders. So we have a lot of work to do. Let's get started. Because there are so many contenders this year, we've added an extra element to the judging process in the form of a 3-mile mini road course around the runways here at El Toro. The idea is that the judges will be able to drive each contender and evaluate baseline data such as drivability, noise, vibration, harshness under acceleration, cornering and braking feel, and of course, because we're driving SUVs and crossovers, stability control systems. The idea is that at the end of this process, we'll be able to eliminate the vehicles that are most clearly not going to be Sport Utility of the Year. And we'll take the finalists up to Northern California for evaluation on real-world roads. After 2 days of testing and evaluation here at El Toro, we've reached the end of the first phase of judging for the 2011 Sport Utility of the Year. Now it's time to say goodbye to the contenders that won't be making the journey to the next phase. Acura MDX.
My problem with the Acura is that it's for new or significantly upgraded vehicles that are eligible. And while this thing has got fresh sheet metal, new engine under the hood, I really don't think it moves the Acura MDX proposition along any further than last time we met this vehicle. So that's my big problem with it. So the Acura goes no further. I think we're pretty unanimous on this one. Yeah. Okay. All right.
BMW X5.
Okay, well, like the Acura, the problem with the X5s is that they're just not new enough. There's kind of a new engine, but then they tweak the sheet metal a little bit in the front and rear, but you really have to look to notice. But other than that, it's kind of the same thing as last year.
That new turbo gas 6 is a hell of a drive though. It's a quick piece of work. I mean, I don't know anyone who didn't have fun driving that.
Yeah, and it might be the best one for the enthusiasts. I think that's probably the best handling proposition. You get the weight of the V8 in there, and yeah, you're stitching the corners together quicker, but I'm not sure you're going through them any faster.
It's also got other stuff that isn't great on BMWs, like that the shifter.
Hey, but I like that one. I'll be the odd man out here because I actually like that. It works intuitively with the kinetics of the car. You rest your hand on it, just works for me. I like it.
Except for parking, where you have to hit a button.
And trying to do the 3-point turn when traffic is bearing down on you and you haven't allowed the requisite amount of time between pressing the brake, pressing the button, and moving the thing.
Okay, so the BMW is not going to go through this time around.
Honda Accord Cross Tour.
Well, the Honda Cross Tour for me is, again, looking back 10 years to my first Sport Utility, it reminds me of the Pontiac Aztek. A great concept in concept, but executed rather poorly. It's just a way to try to sell hatchbacks on Americans, and it doesn't work very well.
It's not really a sport utility vehicle in terms of, you know, the interior configuration. It is a hatchback that's not really that useful. I mean, apart from all-wheel drive, what does it have?
Low on utility, low on sport.
So we're leaving the Accord Cross Tour behind. Hyundai Santa Fe.
The Hyundai Santa Fe's, both of them felt like the image that Hyundai was trying to get rid of. They both feel old, especially compared to the Sorento, which we also have, that it's on a newer platform, on a newer chassis. It just feels much more composed, even though it has its own issues.
It does feel, you know, outdated and outclassed compared with other vehicles in the segment these days.
One thing, I mean, the handling and the ESP tuning on these things is just way behind the best. This thing just slams everything to a halt as soon as these tires, which on that one really are terrible. They'll go at just really low limits.
Okay, so the Santa Fe's are not going to cut it this year.
Kia Sorento.
Sorento initially impressed me. I think the design is very attractive. I like the interior a great deal. It's handsome, has a quality look to it for sure. The things that really let me down about it were interior noise was a big one. Over rough surfaces, there was a lot of booming in the interior cavity.
To me, it didn't seem quite fully baked. I think the engine's quite nice. The tranny is, you know, pretty nice as well. But like Kim said, you know, the ride's a little stiff, it's a little noisy. The steering's, you know, artificial. So
that knocks the Sorento out.
Lexus GX 460.
you know, new V8, very smooth, feels pretty powerful. The 6-speed was nice. There's a lot of roll. There's just a lot of everything that you don't want. Just almost feels dangerous at times. ESP kicks in really fast and hard.
This vehicle is, you know, draws attention to what is Toyota doing with Lexus. There is no inherent Lexus DNA in this vehicle. It is a rebadged Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, and that's what it feels like. So I don't see anyone, you know, fighting this one's corner, so Lexus GX doesn't go through either.
Lincoln MKX.
It's hard to swallow this $50,000 pill when you have the Fords, which is almost the exact same vehicle. Significant price difference. Again, there's some really cool stuff, but I can get all that with a Ford.
This vehicle highlights a fundamental problem that Ford has to address with the Lincoln brand. The vehicles have to be absolutely differentiated from anything with the blue oval on it. And this car's center body and much of the interior package is clearly identified with the Ford Edge. So the Lincoln MKX doesn't make it through this year.
And Mitsubishi Outlander Sport.
So this Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, I mean, I get the impression that they're really trying to do more with less, and I guess that's, you know, the times we live in. But the back end is sort of sliced off, so there's not much room to put anything in the back. It had the most nautical handling of any vehicle out there. I mean, I think this one was cornering on the door handles almost worse even than the Lexus was. But it's kind of underpowered, and I just didn't really see too much to recommend it.
To have the name Sport on this vehicle at all, it shouldn't be allowed. I mean, the engine is anemic. It's one of the weakest in the class by, what, probably a good 20 horsepower compared to its competitors.
Okay, so that cuts the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. So I'll just run through what we do have left and the vehicles that are going through to the final round. And they are the Ford Edge, the Hyundai Tucson, the Infiniti QX56, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Kia Sportage, the Nissan Juke, and the Porsche Cayenne S. Should be an interesting couple of days.